Hi guys, it's me again, Robbie Kun, and back with
Brenda,
as usual, for our monthly film review. And what a lot of shit it is this month.
I told you the film was going to be weird.
Yes, it was weird, and also boring.
Yep.
That's 2.5 hours of my life I'm not getting back now.
I know.
Thank you, Brenda.
I told you.
Do you want to introduce the film?
The film is called Finian's Rainbow, and it's a
Social commentary?
politically strange film. I guess social commentary is pretty
I think that's the best way we can describe
I mean-
it. Social commentary stroke romance.
stroke weird supernatural leprechaun thing.
Like I said, social commentary.
I mean, in all honesty, yeah. It was a musical written originally in the 1940s. That was charged with the race, civil unions, all sorts of other.
Because it had the horrid thing of having black people and white people dancing together. Just shocking stuff, really.
Yeah, and a whole yeah.
It also had Irish stereotypes, which are always hilarious.
Yeah. Let me just find a basic plot.
There was a plot.
Yes.
I can tell you the plot. This Irish guy, had stolen a leprechaun's gold, then went to America
And then shit happened.
for some reason, buried the gold. The leprechaun came back for it,
And then shit happened.
and then this whole thing about black people and white people happens, and the crock of gold goes missing, and then the daughter of the guy is going to be burnt for witchcraft. But then they find the crock of gold and everything's fine.
Yeah.
That's the plot.
Kinda.
I think. It was sort of hard to really tell what was going
Yeah,
on.
you spend it's a lot of subplots and a lot of
And they broke into dance every 5 minutes, which wasn't helping. It's like,
the songs were good.
were they?
I enjoyed them.
Okay.
But
I didn't.
I mean, it's not the guy's it's not his best work, since the guy who wrote the songs also did all the songs for Wizard of Oz.
Which
So
is
you don't have
about
to
that film.
yeah. But this was more along the line of, this is something he actually wrote, a book he wrote first to be a commentary of the times, because let me just get his
It was very good for social commentary, the whole
yeah
sort of segregation, and
yeah
a lot of the film was to do with the segregation and trying to break that down.
yeah. I mean, it was written by the book with a book by E.Y.Harburg.
Would you like to say that again?
E.Y.Harburg.
E.Y.Harburg, yeah.
Harburg. I can't pronounce things. We all know this.
That's why we have me. I'm
Yes.
not just a good looking face.
Who worked with many. He wrote many. He was a lyricist, and he championed racial and gender equality in union politics. He was also So, and this is
So he's a bit of a political activist.
yep.
And obviously he demonstrated this through his work.
And then, yep. So yeah, this is kind of one of his many films that did that. Though it was originally a musical on Broadway. Yeah. Okay, so it's a weird film.
There's something to do with tobacco as well, which doesn't burn.
Yeah, that was.
And then when they got it burning, it doesn't smoke.
And then finally it starts smoking because, hey, you lit it on
Yeah, because they
fire.
burnt down the van.
Weird film.
I don't know what the tobacco had to do with anything. What was the purpose of that?
Money.
Was that it? It was just a money-making
Pretty sure.
scheme in the background. It had
I'm pretty sure. That had yeah. It did show that the smartest person in the whole entire film was a black guy.
Yes, the black guy was a scientist.
There was also a black, African American geologist who came into the film.
No, there wasn't. He wasn't a geologist.
What was
The
he?
senator said he wasn't a geologist. There was only one. That was the white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, that happened in the film.
Yeah.
There were 2 geologists, but the senator only saw 1.
Yeah, there was a lot about there was a lot of religious commentary. No,
Racial commentary.
Racial commentary. Yeah, it's a film. I guess one of the main crux of main parts of the film is when the daughter of the Irishman turns the guy black by wishing because
On the cock of gold.
because she's standing on it at the time.
She wishes him black and he becomes black.
Yeah.
And then strangely, nobody takes him seriously as a senator anymore, and they stop listening to him.
Yep.
Because he's black.
And he still acts like an ass until the leprechaun
Gives
fixes
him a
it.
personality transplant.
Yep.
And then he becomes a gospel singer.
He's actually an okay singer.
No, my favourite bit of the film has to be where the Irish guy is talking to the leprechaun and go, "You're just a figment of my imagination. I'm going to prove this by walking through you. Would you mind stepping aside?" It's a complete breakdown of logic.
Yep. This film is a complete breakdown of
And the
logic.
leprechaun goes along with this.
Because Leprechaun's also losing his mind. And you actually do believe for a little while that maybe it's in your head because the Leprechaun only showed that was the first time we saw the Leprechaun when those two were on their own. Then the Leprechaun, so you're like, okay, that's actually a figment in his head. Then the Leprechaun falls in, then it's a whole more mix of
Falls in love with a girl called Sharon, and then a girl called Susan.
And it has the...
And Susan can't speak, she can only talk through interpretive dance.
Yep, until she can. But,
Yeah, until the leprechaun wishes on the cock of gold that she can talk, which happens at the end of the film.
Yep.
Spoilers. Not that I'd recommend going to see this film anyway, it was boring.
I told you it was a weird film.
um,
Didn't mention the boring part.
yeah. I'm not sure there's much else we can say about that, is there? It's boring, it's weird, it's social commentary. If you're into that sort of thing, you'll like it. I didn't.
I mean, I just find it a weird film. I enjoy some bits, I don't enjoy all of it. That we do have to put we do not, well, I do believe the message in the film is a good message.
But yes, I'm all for equality. I don't agree with
equality and all things, yeah. There is a massive amount at the end of the film with blackface. Which, no, I do not agree with, but at the time...
But it was very well done. I mean, if you look at the black and white minstrels, that was poorly done blackface. This was really done.
They took their time. They didn't want to insult anyone, but yes, nowadays it's probably seen a lot worse. This was actually a politically driven film, from a politically driven musical from the 47 that ran over 2 years, I think. They did 700 and something shows, so either a full year or just over a year. So, and they did just bring it back, but I think they had 2 actors playing the senator to get out of the blackface thing.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, but, well, I agree with the message in this, and I know this, and I've dealt with this before with my Christmas Ford video. My top 4 Christmas films. I don't condone blackface, but for the time period, that's what you get.
See, I'm okay with blackface if it's done for a legitimate reason, like if you're cosplaying a character or something. But yeah, if it's done respectfully like that, I don't mind it.
I mean,
I think it's more in the intent.
Yeah, and the problem is, that's the thing. If it's done well and has a reason, which means I don't mind it as much in this film as I do in one of my favorite holiday films, which it is The Holiday Inn, where the only reason they're doing blackface is so they can hide the girl from the guy. It makes no sense in that scene. It doesn't. And it's literally just one song, and hey, they're doing the Abraham bit. Oy. I'll show you that closer to Christmas.
Okay. I shall look forward to that.
It's an entertaining film. I think Fred Astaire is also in that one.
Alright, okay. Oh yeah, Fred Astaire was the Irish guy in this film. We probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, he's good.
Also, Tommy Steele was the leprechaun.
He's also good. I mean, they had a good amount of characters. The problem is, it's more of a,
It was, yeah.
more of the fact that it was probably better on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was a gorgeous looking film.
It probably didn't translate well to screen.
It was gorgeous. I mean, the backgrounds, the beginning of the film, you're actually seeing all these American places they walk through. I'm not sure how.
You got Mount Rushmore in the opening credits, you had the Grand Canyon.
You had the Empire, you had the, something in Chicago, the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, you had the Statue of Liberty, you had all these main huge landmarks of the U.S. showing the U.S. and you're like, and you spend half the time going, how long were they walking through the U.S. to find...
About as long as Milo was walking home in Phantom Tollbooth.
Yeah, what is with the 60s and these 60s and 70s and these long walks of people walking, and you're sitting there going, where in the world? I mean, I still don't know how Milo's walk could take a whole time, but this is even more like, help. Where did you got off a boat? You didn't even get off the boat. Were you walking before we saw you?
Well,
it's like, yeah, they had really long starts.
they do. I think that's all to say, really, isn't it? About
Yeah, I mean, it's a gorgeous film, but it was probably better on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred Astaire is awesome. He's awesome in everything he does, and I think this was one of his last musicals. I mean, his last movie was in '81. This was about 11 years before then. And that was, so this is, I think, one of his last musicals that he's done. But, yeah.
That's it, really.
There's not much to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if we wanted to, we could probably go into the whole entire race and stuff.
But then
Why
we could probably do that in a video that isn't a film review.
Yeah, this is just more along the line of, it was a weird film. I had to share the weird film. Figured.
Yeah, you've been going on about it for some time now.
It's a weird film where you feel like you should be doing drugs of some sort, just because of how weird bits and pieces are.
I feel like I've wasted 2.5 hours of my life.
Which is what drugs will probably do to you.
No, they waste a lot more of your life.
Yeah, so if this is just 2 hours, I'm like, okay, I no longer need to do the drugs.
So, yeah, well, thank you for watching, guys. We shall see you
This is
again.
probably our shortest review.
Yes. Amazingly. I shall see you again next week. Brenda will see you again
Probably in another week or
probably
two.
in
'cause
another
we're-
couple of weeks because there's another video coming up that we've got planned.
Yeah,
We
and
won't say what it is.
and then of course the next movie review.
Yeah.
And please, guys, I'm starting to run out of ideas. So if you have any ideas for any classic films, or he'll just keep getting films that I find entertaining.
I'll grab something off my
As
off
well.
my bookshelf and she won't like that. So yeah,
Though
give us ideas.
I still think we
we do the anime one next month.
Yeah,
we'll do the anime one.
My friend found one of the first ever Japanese animated films to ever make it to the United States, and that's from 50-something, and from the clips I've seen of it, it looks amazingly well done. The dubbing is actually better than some of the dubbing I've heard. It's the time period, so.
So okay, so yeah, we'll do the anime next month.
And then we'll need some
we need some
suggestions.
ideas,
So please,
in the
suggestions.
comments. In the comments.
Because
please.
I have a bunch of fun films that I'm sure he's going to love.
She nags me every time she sees me. Please put something in the comments. So
Yeah. No.
so that's all from us then. Bye.
Bye.